questions for Rink and Kale.
Rick, I think just in the locker room after the Kansas State game, you guys were already talking about Winthrop and how dangerous they were, and it's kind of the message the last few days. This game going to play out as you feared, the way that they just stuck around from the beginning to the end?
Yeah, we knew this was going to be a really tough game. That's a very veteran group. That's a really tough team that most likely has a very good chance of winning their league. So we knew coming in it was going to be very hard, and we had too many screw-ups, I think, especially in that first half. Second half we were a little bit better, but still some things to get better at. But overall, yeah, we won, and that's the most important at the end of the day.
What kind of challenge did their activity create on the glass for you guys?
For me personally, they had three bigs that they were just constantly subbing out. So for me, with BK out, it was pretty tough. I'm very tired, I'm not gonna lie. So it was pretty tough, the challenge that those three bigs gave us.
You mentioned Burke. They had 17 offensive rebounds. How much did missing him play a role in that?
Yeah, he's huge. He's a big body in there. It's not an excuse. We still got to box out better and go get those rebounds. We got to do it with whoever we got. So we know that when we have BK back, it will be good. But even without him, we got to be better on the boards. And yeah, today we weren't good enough on the boards.
How do you think you guys handled just their overall physicality, especially the way they guard on the perimeter?
Yeah, I mean, that's what teams are going to do to us throughout the years. They're going to pressure us, and that's when it's kind of nice to have Rink back, to get it to Rink and let him initiate. But yeah, we're going to have to – we only turned it over 5 times, but they really pushed us out. So find ways to get our offense to run closer to the three-point line where we can shoot it. But yeah, teams are going to be physical with us all year, so we have to make them pay with back cuts or slips, all the different things to get to the rim.
When you guys started hitting some threes in the second half, do you think that was that just execution, or was there anything different to setting looks there?
I mean, I think we cut harder. When we cut harder and we move faster, like, our shooters get open looks. And we got good looks in the first half. We just didn't make them. And that's part of basketball, right? You're not going to make every single shot. And so we knew coming out of halftime, like, if we kept getting the shots we were getting, we were going to be okay. And they would start to fall. So, yeah, we just wanted to keep moving, keep our flow, and let those guys shoot. Because we have some pretty darn good shooters on this team that are going to get hot at some point.
Yeah, at the Gauntlet, it was lively for you guys. Kansas City, that final game was super fun. It felt like a March Madness. Here it felt very lively. What was it like having fan support?
Yeah, it's incredible. And Coach just said it in the locker room, we got to find a way to come out to a better start at this place. Like in Sioux Falls, we came out hot. In Kansas City, we came out hot. But in our 4 games here, like, we haven't had a good first 10 minutes. And so that's when we need to get our fans on our back. You think back to Purdue game 3 years ago now, when Juwan dives on the floor in the first 2 minutes, and, like, this place is just rocking. And so we need to make a hustle play, right, to get something going early in the game, to really let our fans, like, they're incredible. They keep showing up, and we really appreciate it, but we got to give them something to cheer for early in games.
Why do you think that is that you guys just have in this building, not doing quick starts, is it just feeling comfortable? I mean, I guess just being comfortable, but I guess what do you think?
If we knew, I think we would fix it.
It'd be a lot easier to solve.
Yeah. We'll get it fixed. We'll be all right. It starts in practice, I think. We got to come out fast in practice, and our first couple warm-up drills have got to be intense and out of the gate hot, and that translates. So.
Yeah. For either of you guys, what was Coach Horbert's message at halftime, trailing 36-32?
My brain's not working.
Okay. I mean, it was just like, just keep playing, right? Keep going. We knew, like you guys said, like, they're a heck of that's an NCAA tournament team, and that's a team that's going to beat somebody in March. And so we knew we just had to keep plugging away, keep working. It helps when Rink goes for 30. But just keep playing hard. That was his message. Like, someone go make a play to get us going. Yeah, that's what we talked about.
He said go inside out. Let's go inside at the beginning.
What do you think you got from Jared?
He was huge. He hadn't had a whole lot of reps at the 5. With BK out, we gave him as many reps at the 5 in practice leading up to this game, but he doesn't have a whole lot of experience at that position. I thought for the little amount of prep that he had, he gave us some very valuable minutes. Still got to keep getting better. Watch a lot of film. I know he wants to get better, so but he gave us some very valuable minutes today.
I think you see what Jared brings, that level of pop. He's shooting it well. So the more comfortable Jared gets, wherever position, like, he's going to help us throughout this year. So he's working his tail off. Like, it looks good, and he's coming along. So we're big Jared fans. We're going to need him at some point. So.
For sure.
Rick, you mentioned you're tired. You sat out last year with the injury. What's it just like to be back now, 7 games in, healthy, playing 30-plus minutes a game?
Yeah. Knee has been great. I've been super happy with where the knee has been at. So, the rehab has been paying off. In a game like today where I knew going in I had to play over 30 minutes, but it was high paced. It was physical. So just gotta keep plugging away, and the fans always help. If the crowd's going crazy, you always got a little bit more energy, but just keep pushing through.
Kale, obviously, you had a pretty good run in the Crown back in April, March, but just to be able to kind of continue that high level of contribution coming off the bench for this team, just how fulfilling is that for you as a player, and what has kind of maybe gotten into that consistency?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. This is what I came here for, and that's kind of what we talked about throughout the recruiting process. Who knows when it's going to be, but at some point I wanted to be a consistent contributor here. And it's just a blast to play with these guys. We have a really fun group to show up with every day. And so I'm just grateful to be able to compete with these guys every single day and keep getting better.
Anything else for players? Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Well, I know I talked about. Sorry to cut you off, Robin. I think you realize now why I had so much anxiety going into this game. That's a veteran team. They play 9 seniors. They got grad transfers. They just put you in a really tough situation because of their ability to shoot the ball, and they take care of it. Rozier he's a pit bull, and he does a great job setting those guys up. They don't have any fear. They never panic. When we got that thing up to double figures, they cut that thing back to 3. So, this is a good win for us. It's a team I think was right around 100 in the net, and, it's a team I think has got a great chance to win their league and be in the NCAA tournament. So, proud of our guys for finding a way. That being said, yes, we have to start better. We have to set the tone from a physicality standpoint. I thought they did that to their credit. And then you give up 17 offensive rebounds to get out-rebounded by 10 on your home court. Burke had something to do with that. There's no doubt about that. He's our best defensive rebounder. He's a guy that's our most versatile defender from an analytics standpoint. He does a lot of really good things on the court that don't show up in the box score. So, we knew we'd have our hands full, and especially when we found out that Burke wouldn't be able to play tonight.
Well, what do you say to guys like Price and Brady? Just the line between, knowing if it's not your night and shots aren't falling, but not losing confidence and continuing to shoot?
I tell them to keep firing. I don't know if that's right or not, but if you have some space, shoot the ball. Listen, if you're highly contested, obviously no, we don't want to continue to shoot if it's not your night. If it is, we'll shoot those semi-contested, sometimes contested ones, and the flow of the game dictates that a lot of times. He made a really good play. Jared actually had a mismatch in transition on the one where Sam came down and flipped it to Price, and he hit a second 3. the game. It was good to see Connor knock one down as well before he went out with the injury. But, I thought our guys did a really good job of finding Rink, and he just looked at our pace and our purpose in the second half. It was night and day. We were so much better. We were so much crisper. 21 assists, 5 turnovers. I love that. And our activity on the other end. I thought we contested passes better. We got our hands on the ball, created deflections, and that got us out. We got 2 big fast break baskets with our defense. I think he just fell on his hip. He'll be he'll be fine. I was looking for him to shoot free throws, and he was in the tunnel limping around. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess what I'm supposed to say, Robin, is we'll know more tomorrow.
What does Barricade's outlook look like?
Well, it's not as bad as last year, that's for sure. And he's made big progress in the last couple days. We're off tomorrow, so he'll get treatment. Hopefully, come in to get some shots up, and then we'll have a couple days to prep for a team that won by 15 tonight and has a win on the road at Fresno State. So we got to bounce back, we got to regroup, and we got to got to have a couple good days of preparation.
You mentioned Jared getting the 7 points from him off the bench. How big was that after you had to move Braden and his scoring into the
those were huge. Those were huge points that Jared had. He stepped out there without any fear and knocked down that 3 in the second half. I'd love to see it. Made both his free throws. I thought he had a really good look in the paint on a mismatch. I thought our guys found him down there. And, the biggest thing, I know I've talked about this with Jared, is he missed a lot of time, and he's still working himself back into shape and getting his timing and all that. But this is a good step for him to go out there and produce in a highly competitive game.
Frank's stat line speaks for itself, but how impressive is that when I think he said they're rotating 3 bigs on him, and he was tired to still go 7 to 10 from deep.
Yeah, it was, and we got a challenge with Rink, and I guess that one. But anyway, so what Rink was able to do tonight in extended minutes, we don't want to play him that much. We had to tonight in order to win this game. But when he gets into that type of rhythm, we ran actions for him, and our guys found him, and they set good screens to get him freed up. But again, I'm really happy for our guys to find a way to win this one, and we're going to have a good film session and learn a lot from this game as well.
Braden performed in his first start.
Yeah, I thought Braden had some big plays for us. That fast break was great when he was running down the right wing, streaking down the right wing. He's as athletic as anybody on our team, and I thought he battled. Out there all game long, even though his shot wasn't falling from the perimeter. And he's had an unbelievable start to the season. I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him, and we're going to continue to ride him.
I feel like a 40-minute challenge like this will help you guys in the next coming weeks, coming months, after just the high of Kansas City and everything.
Yeah, it's important for us. These games are great. You have some adversity down the stretch. A double-digit lead got cut back down to 3. We had to find a way after the timeout to get a big bucket. We got it, and then got to stop and score it again. Executed really well down the stretch. Got Kale loose at the basket with Rink popping the way he had it going. So to find a way to execute down the stretch when things were getting a little dicey out there, that's these are going to be great moments for us moving forward. You win a tight one, obviously, against Oklahoma. You win another close one where we had a big lead against New Mexico, and then you win by 1 against K-State. So these have been really good games and experiences, and hopefully we can pull away in some of these and not have it come down to the last couple possessions.
For the next game because of the holiday, I guess what's your early impression of it being on South Carolina upstate, just kind of what challenges they might have?
Yeah, all I've really seen on them is their scores. I'll dive into them tonight. That's how I always do it, is stay focused on the team that we're playing against, and then turn the page and move on. I'll get back and watch our game tonight, and then watch a little bit of USC Upstate, and then we'll get a game plan put in tomorrow with our staff, and hopefully go out and execute well.
Real quick, going back to Jared, as he gets more in shape and more back to who he was, how do you see maybe his role evolving in the coming weeks?
Yeah, I mean we'll see. It was a good step in the right direction today, and we'll have a good cleanup at it. We'll watch some individual film with Jared on both sides of the ball, and there's going to be some things to clean up, but I'm happy for Jared to go out there and get 7 big points for us and play double-figure minutes. Like I said, a step in the right direction for him.
Playing at the Crown, being able to keep that consistency going into this season. He said that was something on recruiting visits. He wanted to be a consistent contributor. Just how fulfilling is it for a player like him to be living up to what you guys have talked about before he got here to Nebraska?
Yeah, I mean that was one of the best things about the Crown was to see Cale emerge the way that he did, and come in here and earn a spot in the rotation, and a lot of times be on the floor at the end of the game because you can trust him out there. He gets you into an offense. We didn't want whoever Rozier was guarding to handle it, which was Sam. So I thought Cale did a really good job. He was a calming influence for us. He knows all 5 positions on the floor. I've talked a lot about that. I've talked about his future as a coach. I think he's going to be a great one when it's all said and done. So he just he does so much for you on the floor, and I love seeing him knock down. Those were big free throws. I think it was a 5-point game when he stepped up and made it a 3-possession game by knocking down the 1-on-1. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.